Hey, I want to thank y'all for tapping in with your boy, the Ambassador. We are live on Live and Unscripted, and I have my good brother, Melvin Stewart Jr. joining me. We're going to be talking about opportunity for players to go overseas, right? Something that come up that's been introduced to myself. I'm honored to be a part of it. And so I wanted to do, I guess I say, a special show because for those who follow me and they know my background, that's what I'm known for is helping players go overseas. And so when this opportunity came to me, I was like, hey, we gotta let everybody know what's going on. So, Mel, let's begin to talk about what you have in the works, and we're just gonna go from there. So, well, I guess let's before we get into that, give us a little history or a little something about who are you and Max Hoops. What's going on with you?
So, my name is Melvin Stewart Jr. I'm the director of Stewart Stars and Washington Basketballers. We do post grad prep school basketball. Uh, we usually help young men get into college, but it's a different opportunity arose. So and then now we're going to the next level and see how that works out.
Okay, so man, let's I guess in that let's talk about this opportunity that you sent to me. I know there's a tryout that's supposed to be coming up May 10th at Portland Community College.
Yes.
So let's talk about this tryout. What you got going? What's the opportunity? Let's talk about that.
Okay. So usually at a combine, you know, a tryout, there's hundreds of people there and minimal job possibilities.
True.
Um, you know, uh, the, this situation, we're actually picking up players from Portland so we can take on the trip. Um, I plan to pick up over half the team at this combine in Portland. So
Okay.
May 10th, if if you got it, it'll show, and we'll work it out from there. Uh, but we're looking for talent right now, for sure.
So looking for talent. I plan on coming down. All right. So
Yes.
you know, that's something I'm big on, and it just been able, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity to work with you. I'm gonna be coming down there to Portland on May 10th, and I'm gonna be one of the personnel with him that's gonna be evaluating talent. So all
Yes.
of the players that I know, y'all know me. I'm not gonna put my name on anything, and not only that, but just the fact that if I'm involved, then there's a good chance that you're going to get a real opportunity. So it's one of those situations where,
Yes.
like, like, like said, for those who know me, who followed me, this is the same similar situation where you're going to be on a team and you're going to actually get to play in front of GMs, coaches, people who are looking
Yes.
for players. That's different than just going to a tryout and then
Yes.
you're
Yes.
hoping that you're going to get selected, but you
Yes.
know, you
Yeah.
know. So I think that's the big thing. So man, the countries that you have listed, what are the countries? So tell me about that. I guess the countries or the idea, because I think it said something like from June into July. You're going to be gone for a good minute.
7 weeks. We go from June 5th and we leave Italy back to the States July 25th. So
Okay.
uh, our first stop is Venice, Italy. So we
Okay.
fly into Venice and then we go to Trieste, and that's our hub. Basically,
Okay.
that's home base, Trieste, Italy. Trieste
Okay.
is an hour and 20 minutes from Croatia. So our first 5 games are in Croatia.
Oh
So
wow.
we'll stay in Italy in Trieste and we'll drive back and forth to Croatia to our game.
Okay.
Uh, Then we'll travel to France, and we'll be in France for 6 days, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want
Okay.
to say the wrong number, but it's like 6 days. We play 5 games during
Oh
that
wow.
time. Uh, then we travel to Belgium. Belgium is right next door to France. We play another 5 games over there in 6 days. Then we travel back to Trieste. Yeah, then we travel back to Trieste, and we just practice. We practice for 7 days
Okay.
while resting. It's
Okay.
more of a rest time, getting prepared for China.
That's big.
So, so we leave for China July, I believe it's July 5th,
Okay.
and we start playing games on the 7th. Um, we play top division teams in China, so it'll be NBA players over there.
Oh yeah. For those, I mean, who know me, that's where I started at, was in China, and we was in China. I think we did like 5 tours out in China. We played the CBA, which he's talking about. That's the NBA, the top league out there. We played the Division
Yes,
Two
sir.
champs. We played Super League Russia. So I know about what he's talking about, and just the amount of games that you're talking about. That's amazing. You know what I
In
mean?
front of the GMs and the coaches and the owners of these teams, they'll all be there. Like
That No, no. I mean, it's like I said, and that's why I wanted to have this interview, because people needed to hear the opportunity, right?
yeah,
Because you
yeah,
just see a flyer, and you see a
right,
flyer, oh, I got to pay 300 to register, and this and that. And this is something that those who understand what it takes to play at the pro level, this is normal. You pay between 2 to 4, 500, whatever, just to get a look, right? And so this right here is going to put you in front of, you gonna it sound like you're gonna play almost 20 games or more. You know what I mean? And you're gonna be 7 weeks,
yes,
you're playing
sir.
a lot of games. And China,
Yeah,
once again,
yeah.
is top. It's a lot of money in China.
In China, they give each player $5,000.
Oh
So,
wow.
so the combine in Portland is May 10th, and that's $300. The
Okay.
tour itself, you've got to get yourself to Venice,
Okay.
and and then the cost is $1,400 from there for those 7 weeks. That covers all your expenses, all your food, all your lodging. It covers all
7
that.
weeks.
But then when we get to China, they give you $5,000. So you're getting your money back, you know what I'm saying, times two once you get to China. I mean, that's where, my mentality is, bet on yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get an opportunity, and then you also get a chance to get that money back when you get to another country,
No.
China. You know,
Like I said, and I know China. Like I said, China is really like that. It's a lot of money, and so it's one of
yeah,
those things. If you listen to the opportunity, right, for those who are just trying to, it's one of those. I guess I want to just be honest and just 100. Right, I've been in the business over a decade, and a lot of folks is thinking, oh, okay, let me just try out, and like I said, and then you're gonna pick me up and you're gonna take care of everything, right? Honestly, sort of at this time in the game, it's sort of late, right? If you don't already have a agent of some sort, and what I mean is, when it's sort of late, is if you're not already a division, I would say first a Division 1 player. You know what I mean? With the
yeah,
accolades, already got the connections. If you're trying to start a career, you know what I mean? Where do you go?
yes, yes,
Right? And this
yes,
is this is the perfect opportunity for those who are trying to start a career, those who are trying to continue a career. You know what I mean? There's some that, in the sense that, yes, you have agents, boom, that's a different situation where they might can get you somewhere, you got a resume. But if you don't really have a resume of some sort, you're not gonna
right,
just go to a tryout. and they're gonna just put you, give you a job and put you on and give you an opportunity
Yes,
like
sir.
this. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
sir.
that's
Yes, sir.
just the reality of what it is. And so that's why I said, man, I'm down and I'm putting my name on it and I'm coming down to the tryouts because I'm like, this is a cold piece because of the fact that 1,400, that's 7 weeks of basketball. And all of these countries you get to get seen with the opportunity to make your money plus some in China.
It's
I'm
two
just
hundred
saying.
dollars a week. I
I'm just saying, right?
mean, come
And,
on,
and
$200 a week. You kidding me?
and not only that, but this is your third annual. So this is not the first time y'all done something. So
No,
that's the other part too, is this is not the first time and you're taking a chance, but this is the third one. And so that means there's some
no.
credibility, there's some history behind this.
There's been 11 players to get jobs in these last 2 years just while being over there.
Okay.
In these
Okay.
last 2 years, there's been 11 players get jobs overseas. I'm not talking about after we go home and guys get calls and everything. I'm just talking about strictly from there, contract signed while being there.
Oh wow. Oh
I mean,
yeah.
it's life changing. When we're talking about overseas basketball, they don't want to bring you over there unless you're a gunslinger. They want you to be able to do a whole bunch if they're bringing
Facts.
you over. You know what I'm saying? If they're bringing you over there, they expect a whole lot from you.
Yeah.
If you're already there, they can take a closer look at you a lot more. Like all of a sudden you're in the arena with, you know, you're playing 5 games, but you're playing against 5 of the professional teams where
Right.
now there's, you know, in the country, it may have, 4 different divisions. All these
That's true.
divisions pay, and they all take imports. So you get the opportunity to play in front of the lower levels and the higher level teams. They all sign contracts.
No, and that's true, right? For those who didn't know, honestly, basketball has the most job opportunities. You know what I mean? When you talk about professional sports, because of the fact that there's so many teams at so many different levels all over overseas, right? We
Right.
just get so focused on, okay, I want to play NBA. No, that's a very small number, but there's more opportunity, and there's just as much, even more money overseas, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
than playing in the NBA, right? And
Yeah.
so that's the beauty of this game and of this opportunity is the fact that you're going to go down here. So this is another thing, right? When you come to the tryouts, like I said, betting yourself. I mean, you got to think. You said how many you taking?
We're taking 2 teams. So
2 teams.
we're going to take between 22 and 25 players.
So you got, and we mentioned this. We're looking for 2 tryouts. So Portland is the
Yeah.
first one. We got some things going on in Texas and Dallas area. They're working on the gyms right now for that. So that's going to be the 2 locations for this opportunity, right? But so you're
Yeah.
saying 22 to 25 players that's going to
There's
get to go.
25 slots remaining, 25 slots available. Come get them.
25 slots, right?
Yeah.
There's
We're taking the best talent.
11 players that already had that has received jobs. And so I'm just keep repeating these things because there's a lot, of course, we
Yeah.
got all these questions, and it's one of those things where he's saying, if you missed it, we're gonna remind you, right? There's 11
Yeah.
players that got a job in the last 2 years. There's an
Right.
opportunity for 25 players to be selected, right? You
Yeah.
and this is no different. I mean, of course, I have certain tours that I've done, and it depends on like the Admirals, some of my players. That there's trips that, of course, yes, we went and we got paid. You know what I mean, in a sense, or we didn't have to pay, but that's different compared to this, right? There's trips where I'm trying to put people on that I'm like, no, you have to pay. So I know about all the different levels, right? So
Yeah.
what you're saying is they're going to have to. So if you're listening, you're going to have to cover your flight. You
You
know
have
what I
to cover
mean?
your flight to Venice, Italy.
Really? Okay, so you got to cover a round trip ticket there, right? And
Yep.
then you're gonna have to pay 1,400 for the 7 weeks that you're gonna be out there. Now, think about this. This is covering all your food and your stay.
Yes. And your
It-
travel to
and your
all the
travel
countries.
to all the
Yes.
countries. So
Yes.
I, this this is a hell of a deal. I'm gonna just be honest because I'm like 7 weeks for 1,400 and everything is covered with the opportunity to get a job, and once you get to China, you're gonna get your money back plus
You can get
some.
your money back. Yes. You can get your money back. Yes. 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 Bet on yourself and it's a win-win. I mean, it's a
It
win-win.
really is. It really is. And like I
Yeah.
said, I mean, I I pride myself on that. Like I said, I have the resume and that speak
Yeah.
on boom. I went to these many countries and this is how I work. I have players that sent on the pro level and that can still jump on with me right now and they can tell you all the different experience, the opportunities they received, all of that. So,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
why I wanted to partner with you because when you told me this, I'm like, this is like one of the best tours I've heard in a long, long time. You know what I mean? And with the
Yeah.
opportunity
Appreciate it.
for players to be able to go to the next level, and players, you have to understand, right, how this works because you're gonna need film. You're gonna get film, right?
You
You,
you
you,
need
you
film.
get a, you're gonna get a lot of film. Not only that, I always tell players, how to conduct business. Now you get the network. You're gonna be in these other different countries. You're able to talk to coaches and GMs and other players and network and build that resume, which
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
you come back and say if you don't get a contract in that 7 weeks, you have the things that you need to begin to
Yeah.
shop yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes. You got game footage that's not from the YMCA or LA Fitness. You got
Right?
legit professional game footage. It looks different. You know, when when coaches get your film, they're not looking for highlight reels. They're looking for game footage. They want to see you turn the ball over. They want to see how
That's
you
real talk.
respond after you get dunked on. What do you do after your ankles get broke one time? What happens when this guy beats you on defense or you miss this shot? How do you respond? That's what they're looking for. They don't
That's
want to
real.
see you just be a superstar the whole time because that's not reality of basketball. We make mistakes. So
Right.
how do you respond from this mistake that you made? If it was easy, everybody would do it. You know what I'm
No,
saying? It's not easy. So, it takes a lot. It takes a mental focus to want to go to another country and be one of the only Americans on the team for sure, but in the area and still go out and keep your sanity, focus, and do your job. You're there for a job.
for those who ain't like y'all really need to be listening to what my man is saying. There's key jewels he is dropping. Not only is it's a job, but you're the only American. You're going to a whole nother country. It might be one, it might be two, but you're in a
Right.
whole nother country. You got to
Yep.
adapt and change to whatever the environment is, and then there is expectations on you because you are an American player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's
Right.
the thing too, right? So one of the tips I give players is just because you go to another country doesn't mean they're always looking for it. And that's one of the things that I learned when I went to China was we was playing Lithuania. And I'm about to bring my coach on, my good friend Coach L. Limos, I'll be messing my man name, but basically one of the things he had told me, he said the problem with the Americans, we are in a sense selfish. We're one on one. In Europe, it's team system. It's a systematic. It's team play. It's certain things. So one of the things that we tend
Yeah.
to do, we want to get over there and we're like, oh, we're gonna score all the buckets and not really try to fit into the system. So that's one of the tips I would say. Learn what system that you're trying to fit in and how their style of play. Because yes,
Right.
if they need you to get buckets, Yeah, you got to get buckets, but there's other more
Right.
things than just getting buckets. You know what I mean? So that's some of the things that you're talking about is just learning how to adapt to the culture, understanding you're the only one there. You're gonna be away from family, friends, and you're there to
Right.
do a job. And that's the main thing. You're there to do a job. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
man,
Right.
you- so Portland, okay. What is your deadline? So how many you trying to get into Portland? Your
50.
tryout?
Well,
50.
we're only
Okay.
taking 50. Yep. We're only taking
Okay.
50 because we're only doing 1 day. So
Okay.
if we were doing 2 days, we would do 100, to 120. But since we're
Okay.
only doing 1 day, we're going to go 50. And we're literally stopping it at 50. There's going
Okay.
to be the deadline for $300 is this Friday. No, next Monday of the 28th.
28. Okay.
And then after Monday, it's $400 for uh, the 6 hours. So
Okay.
we'll go from 9 a.m. to noon. Then we'll have lunch from noon to 1:45, and we'll get back on the court from 2 to 5. Um, we provide lunch for everyone. You don't have to leave. You just relax. Relax. Ice your body. You got an hour and 45 minutes to eat you some lunch, relax, get your hydration back together, and be ready to get back in boogie, for the
Okay.
next 3 hours from 2 to 5, you know, because we're going to hoop. It's going to be, 95% hooping. We want to see you hoop. We don't need to see you doing a bunch of drills. We need to see you play basketball. You know,
Okay.
there's no major sets, that we're looking to run. You're a professional. Play the game. You you'll be fine. This isn't basketball's not complex. We just make it that way. It's not complex. We play together. It's a simple. When you go across the water, you don't have to average 30. They don't need you to average 30. Believe when I tell you they've got someone that can average 30 points a night. That's
Right.
from their
Right.
country.
Right.
You know, don't don't get it mixed up. There's gunslingers over there. It's not just weak basketball. Like some may have that perception that international basketball is soft, you know. But you see, as the NBA grows, the
More
international game
national.
grows.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, you know. I mean, this isn't complex. You just go do what you're supposed to do, and you get a job. I mean, it's you know, our responsibility as the coaches and the people running the tour. We're there to push you to get jobs. I mean, we want. If it's up to me, 25 players go, 25 players
On
get
the
jobs.
jobs. Yeah.
Simple. It's simple. And that's my objective. So as long as I'm there, that's what we're doing. We're pushing everybody to get a job from lower level to top division, whatever, a job.
Well, I mean, and that's what they gotta understand too, right? Because even lower level, I have players that started in lower level and they work their way up. You just gotta get your foot in the door. Once you get
Just
your
get
foot in
in.
the door, and you
Yeah.
got the talent in the game, you conduct yourself. All the rest is easy, to be honest, because they gonna see
Yes.
you now. Boom, you got a chance to keep working and go up. You know what I mean? To whatever the level may be. We can't get caught up on, oh, I'm trying to get the bag off the muscle. That's not the case. You
Yeah.
don't have the resume or the experience yet. You know what I mean? Be
Right.
happy
Right.
and figure out how to get in there. And once you get in there, then you begin to network. You begin to show why they need to give you a bigger bag, and then you begin to really look at
Yes.
options. You know what I mean? And so, like you
Right.
said, the fact that you said they got one Italy, Croatia, Belgium, China,
In France.
and France. So there's 5 countries
Yeah.
like that you're gonna get to play on, get an opportunity to be seen,
Yeah.
to get film, and then like I said, you're gonna get your money back in China plus some.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really a win-win situation for whoever. So, like, I got my man Marcus, whole lot of buckets. Thank you for tapping in, my man. He's one of young bulls that I had the pleasure to work with, coach in a few things, and he's wanting to go to pro, want to go overseas, and so
Yeah.
he tapped in and check in what's going on, and this is something like I tell all y'all have more than enough time because they would need to fly out. You said June
June 4th.
June
You want
4th.
to leave your state June 4th, get to Venice June 5th.
So once again, it's one of those like I tell y'all, invest your money. I'm going to tell you to make money, you got to invest money. That's just how it is, right? And so I'm always telling you, if I put my name on it, this is where you should put your money for the best
Come
opportunity,
on.
right? And so
Come
this is
on.
where you should put your money for the best opportunity. This tour right here, that's once again, I'm gonna keep saying it. I put my name on it, and y'all know I ain't gonna just ride with any and everybody. I just sit out on the sideline and just chill. You know what I mean? But when you hit me up, and then we jumped
Yeah.
on the phone. You told me what was going on. I was like, yeah, I'm all in. I'm down to Portland. I'm going to check it out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They make some phone calls to Dallas. You know what I mean? Let me get
Come on.
all behind this, and
Come on.
really get some of my young boys an opportunity. So once
Yeah.
again, like I said, you got to cover your ticket. You got to cover pretty much the 1,400 is going to cover 7 weeks. This is 5 countries, food, stay, and travel. And I just got to keep saying that because that's a bro. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie. I've had tours where the 1,400, that's about one country. I'm charging you about that much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to go to
Yeah.
one country. But you want 5 countries for this. You know what I mean? Um,
You
and
know, I feel you. The thing about it is the reason it's 1,400 is because we're gonna be in Europe. And then when we go to China, they cover everything. So it's like,
I too.
it'll kind of be, you know, just a barely, you know, barely sliding by. But, it's to give guys opportunities. It could be 2,500, you know what I mean? But,
Easy.
if we do 2,500, somebody's not going to be able to go that really needs the opportunity. So at 14, you know, I have no problem not taking the check. You
And,
know,
and, and,
I'm
and
I'm gonna coach my butt off. You know, maybe I can get a job over there as well.
that part,
You
right?
know, anything is possible now. All we're doing,
Real talk.
everybody's there for a performance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's there trying out, trying their luck.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. So you come there to perform, because I am, then you got action. That's some positive things happening.
And see that
You
was
know,
I love like you said uh, just hearing the reasoning because that's why I kept all my tours low, right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
charge a whole lot like I could have because I'm like I want to give
yes,
guys real opportunities. You know what I mean? It's not about me trying to
yes,
get all this money. It's about these guys really being able to get an opportunity. And so to hear that,
right,
the reason that makes me even more like this is why. You know what I mean? I knew I had to get behind it because of that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
the reason, right? Is the fact, like I said,
yeah,
it is true.
yeah,
I built
yeah.
my career and my name just like you in a sense. I'm going overseas. I'm coaching my butt off. You know what I mean? And now here it is. I'm able to call all these different coaches and all these different people because they like,
Come on,
yo, they have mad love and respect for me. And so when people call and they ask for players and they ask for coaches, I can send them, hey, check them out, check them out, check them out.
right?
So this it's the same
Yes, sir.
concept. You know what I mean? And so for those who's listening, he will be coaching. You know what I mean? He's gonna be
Yeah.
on the trip coaching. So that's the other part too. Like when I went overseas, I was there. You know what I mean? So I wasn't just
Yeah.
trying to sell you there, but I'm right
Right.
there next to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, so
Yeah. Yeah.
this is gonna be your coach. You know what I mean? He's gonna be rocking with you all. So that makes it even
For
better.
sure.
You start talking about family and stuff. Oh, is it really secure? He put
Yeah.
his he put it not on his name, but he's flying over there and he's gonna be on the sideline with y'all. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
Making sure
Yes, sir.
that they do everything they need to do to give you the best opportunity. You know what I mean? Let me
Yes.
see.
Yes.
What is
Yes.
this?
Yes. We are we are definitely here to push and promote everyone that's on the tour. That's for sure. Yeah.
and,
No
and so I want
nobody
to
left behind.
hey, that's the motto, right? You know, that's like us. We all
For
eat. Hey, if
real.
I'm eating, you eating. Ain't nobody gonna
Yeah.
get left behind. I'm making
We're
sure
gonna
we
be
take
all
care
right.
of
Come
everybody.
on.
And
Yeah.
so as y'all
Yeah.
see, now y'all understand the dynamics of the partnership. You know what I mean? Where y'all know who I am and what I do. And I'm not going to, once again, put my name on any and everybody. I had the pleasure. We both are in the Northwest. You know what I mean? So he's not
Absolutely. Come
somebody
on.
that I don't know. You know what I mean? I can't just, hey, call him or ride up and go find him. You know what I mean? He's somebody right here, just like myself, that's really pushing and trying to make a change and a difference and give our community opportunities. We didn't have a chance. We didn't play it against each other. You know what I mean? All
Come
of those
on. Come
things.
on. Yeah.
And so we have built this relationship to the point now, as he said, we're at that next level. And so, it was an honor for him to reach out to me and say, hey, what's up, family? Scott, what I mean? And he said, you know, boom, this is what it is. This is what I got. I thought about you. And I'm like, bro, I'm honored and let's do it. And here we are talking about this tour. And so this is what jumping off May 10th. We're gonna be down
Right
in
there.
Oregon. May
Come
10th,
on.
Oregon. Y'all tap in. I'm gonna send this link. I've already got it live in all the basketball little groups I'm in now. And I'm sure
Yeah.
people gonna share this and they're gonna talk about it. You're gonna see the flyer that's gonna be coming up. So,
Come
like I
on.
said,
Come on.
come down to Portland. If you got game, don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. We're not looking for, like you said, just your YMCA. We ain't trying to just fill the tour up because we're trying to get money.
Mm-mm.
We ain't getting no money like that. You know
Mm-mm.
what I mean?
We
So,
uh-uh.
so
We need
it's more
gunslingers.
right, right. We put our name on you, and we if we put our name on you, we need the best thing that's jumping in
Come
the
on.
Northwest, and then when we go down
Yeah.
south, the same thing. We need the best hoopers that really not just hoopers on the court, but also off the court. I'm big on that, right? Because of the fact
Yeah.
that your character got to be on point. You're a product, and this is what owners look for. Coaches look for. They coachable. Can they do this? Are
Yeah.
they responsible? Da 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 da. You know what I mean? Not just
Right.
I put up 50, points, but my attitude is bad. I can't be coached. You know what? Overseas, they send you home real fast. Trust me. They
Yeah.
replace you.
Come
So
on.
now,
Come on.
Rich, I know. Before we get off, the last little part, I know Rich couldn't make it, but I want them to understand like the dynamics. Right, we're on this side, but we actually have someone on that side who is the mastermind in a sense. Real connected behind everything to ensure
Yes.
that these things are happening. So, talk a little bit
Yeah.
about that.
Richard Laurel was drafted, I believe it was 82 from Hofstra University. Drafted number 16 in the first round.
Okay.
Coming out of college, his senior year, he averaged 30.9, if I'm not mistaken. So every time his Hofstra team stepped in the building, they could put 30 in the books for Richard Laurel.
Oh
That's a
wow.
big deal. Second leading scorer in the country behind Larry Bird.
Okay.
Him and Larry Bird battled all their senior year.
Oh
Gunslinger.
wow.
Yeah. So Rich is well connected overseas. He played overseas for 16 years. So
Okay.
and he lives in Italy. So
Okay.
he's the feet on the ground overseas. He's
Okay.
also the Brooklyn Nets scout. So
Oh
he
wow.
does a lot of scouting, goes to a lot of different games overseas, EuroLeague games, different high level games, scouting for NBA teams. So he's pretty active, and he asked me to do the coaching and put everything together, and that's what I'm doing. You know, just making opportunities, especially out this way, because
Right.
we don't really have a lot of opportunities like this come out this way. So,
Right.
you know, I would have had it in Seattle. I'm a Seattle guy. I would have had it in Seattle, but I couldn't get a gym. So we're in Portland, May
And
10th. You know,
so we let y'all know this time, next time around, the next tour. That's why we partnered up. We've already been
yeah,
talking on the back end, saying, "Hey, we're gonna move it up this way in between Seattle. You know what I mean? We're gonna definitely have one in Seattle, Kitsap.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Come
Where I'm
on,
at, OC. Already looking at a couple of places, Tacoma. So we're gonna move it up this way. Yes, Portland. We're gonna still show y'all love. Y'all got the first one, but we're gonna definitely move
come
it up
on,
up
come
north.
on,
So we just letting y'all know
come
this is
on.
the first one, but we're gonna have more
Yeah,
that's gonna be coming out, and that's the vision and our plan. And if y'all
come
had
on.
listened to the feet on the ground is legit. You know what I mean?
Oh,
He
come
is
on.
ex former NBA overseas player who lives over there. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And
sir.
works
Yes, sir.
a scout for the Brooklyn Nets, and he's the one that is over. You see the tour. This is his tour. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah.
the on the back end that's working with him to make sure that we find the best players to
Yes.
bring over. And that's why we're saying that this is not no money grab. So y'all can go ahead and cancel it. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like you said, where it's saying, oh, okay, we're just trying to find some people who got the money. No, this is business. This is like top tier business with credibility. And so we're looking for real hoopers with real talent that
Yeah.
really want a real opportunity. And that's why I told my man when he hit me, yo, I normally do these 2 days on Thursday and Saturday. You know what? I'm gonna do one on Monday. You know what I mean? This is gonna be me and you. We gotta hurry up and get this out because, like you said, our goal is to get 25 players jobs and get 25 players on this tour. We want to get 25 players jobs. And if you don't get picked up, say on the tour, we know we got the know-how on how to help you once you get back. And that's the
Yeah.
beauty too. We're both in the game, in the business, and we work with players, young players, college players, pro players at every level to prepare them and get them to where they need to be. And like I said, his resume just as impressive as mine. I'm talking to him. We talking about street ball players and things like that, and he dropping names. I'm like, what? You train who? Wait, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
one of those. You
Yeah.
have some credible coaches that are really looking out for the players out here in the Northwest. You know what I mean? Players as a whole, but we are from the Northwest in a sense. Well,
Yeah.
he is from Seattle. Basically, y'all adopted me. I'd have been out here for so long, over 20 years. You know what I mean? So I say I'm from out
Come
here as
on.
well. And so for all the players that have been that's been tapping it in with me, asking me when is the next opportunity, or yo, coach, put me on. I'm putting you on now, right? So if you
Mm.
don't go to this tryout, you know what I mean? Don't say that I ain't try to help you, right? This is just like real, you know what I mean? Just being honest, because I have a bunch of people that hit me up, and that's why I'm doing this live with you, because I'm like, look, I'm gonna put a name to face. Y'all get to see, y'all get to hear it. You know what I mean? Y'all get to understand the opportunity, and I'm gonna be down there on the 10th. You know what I mean? To help
Yeah.
to check it out. I won't be able to go on a tour because I'm be busy doing all kind of stuff. But my brother's gonna be on the tour, so y'all in great hands. So I ain't even worried about that. You know what I mean? He great coach as well. So my thing is to
Appreciate you.
support. Oh, most deaf, brother. You know what I mean? I'm here to support. This is, like I said, the new partnership that I wanted to announce and share everybody that this is the first one we got going now. We're gonna look to go to Texas on the 17th, 18th. Soon as that get worked out, we're gonna put that announcement out. And then once that tour is over, once he hit me back with the next tour, we're gonna just keep them rolling. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Keep it
Yes.
rolling, and there's gonna be, I'm sure, more things. But for those who want to go pro, here's your opportunity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actual
So,
opportunity. Like,
what is
yeah.
how can they tap in with you? Your no, or your they reach you directly?
So you can reach me. Uh, I got a phone line, and on the flyer, the flyer's got my email address and my phone number. It come
Okay,
directly to me.
okay.
Yeah, flyer's got my email address and the phone number on there. Yep, IBT of
So
AZ. Yep, yep,
so tap in with us, like you said. Hey, 300, 300 now. If you wait too late, you just got to pay the extra. We ain't, like I
yeah. Pay
said,
the extra.
it's just it's one of these things, right? It's business accountability at the same time, right? So it's not one of those, hey, coach, can you hook me up? Can't, no, this is a business. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's just really what we're on. We really want it. We're going to treat it because we're businessmen. So it's one of those where I don't want y'all to be trying to be a head coach. Can you give me a head coach? Can you? I can't do nothing for you. You know what I mean? This is all I can do. I can get you, present you to my brother. I
yeah.
can get you in there, and I'm gonna help scout and look. And I'm gonna be honest. And he's gonna we gonna collaborate on who we want to
Right.
pick. But it ain't gonna. It's no homie hookups. It's no free ride. It's no none of that. If you don't have the money, not just the 300, go ahead and think about this. And I'm just wanted, like I said, I'm just putting
Yes.
this all out here ahead of time because I don't want y'all to put 300 up, get selected, and then be like, oh, I can't afford to get a ticket. Or, oh, I
Right.
can get a ticket, but I can't afford. Oh, I didn't know it was 1,400 to pay for it. You know what I mean? We put it
Right.
all out in the beginning, and you know yourself, and you know if you can get the support. Once again, I'm gonna put it out before we go out again, or before we leave. You got to get your round trip ticket. You know what I mean? So you're gonna pay the 300 to get through the tryouts. Boom, you selected, and you're not guaranteed to be selected. That's that other part, right? If you ain't cut it, so that's why I said really be honest with yourself. Can you play real pro basketball, right? Because you put in that money, the 300 to get in the dough and perform, right? You get selected, you're gonna have to get a ticket and a round trip ticket at that, right?
To
And
Venice,
then you
Italy.
Venice, Italy. And what
Venice,
date?
Italy. June 5th. Arrive. So you would leave June 4th from your respected state. You would leave June 4th. Arrive by June 5th. We start boogieing on the 6th.
Oh, oh yeah, oh
We
yeah.
start boogieing right now. You
Yep.
get there and
I,
let's go. Yeah.
I already know what kind of trip. Yep, I know
You
exactly how
already
that goes
know.
down.
You know?
And so got the round trip ticket, and then the 1,400, and that's gonna have to be paid before. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not no thing. Oh, once I get no, you have to send the money off before you even get on a plane. You know what I mean?
The team's got to be selected by the hold up. Team's got to be selected by the 20th.
So May 20th, the team got to be selected. So that means
Yeah.
you got to have ticket paid, money in, you know what I mean? All of that. So once again, I'm just telling y'all before you even say, okay, let me, yeah, I put this 300. Do I have the funds? Let me do my research. I know the date. I got to be there. I got to get back. Can I afford a round trip ticket? And then
Right.
by the
Right.
20th, I got to make sure I have 1,400 to cover. Now, that's 7 weeks of food, transportation, and travel. So I'm like, really think
Yeah.
about that. But then on the back end, like I said, once you get to China, you get your
Take care
money
of
back.
that.
So that's the good part, right? So it's
That's a
not just
game
like, oh,
changer.
I'm gonna put it out and I'm out of money, but it's just saying, hey, can I front this? Pretty
Right.
much what I'm
Right.
doing, I'm fronting it. But once I get to China, and China is really like that,
Right.
get your bread back, and now you got job opportunities, you got film. If you don't get, like I said, if you can probably get a contract. If you don't, and all of this is all depicted on your play, right? All we can do is put you in a position. We can promote, we can do all of that, and that's
Yeah.
what we're gonna do. But you got to perform at all times, right? So you perform, you
Yeah.
get your contract, get your money, you get film, you get experience. That's another thing too. A lot of folks
Yeah.
who ain't never
Huge.
played or went overseas and had that opportunity, it's a life changing experience, right? I've been blessed to take a lot of players over,
Yeah.
and that first trip, it can be more than just that first one, even if it's your first or second. It's life changing, like for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a lot to go into it, and just the experience, bro. The experience alone is something that you'll never forget. You know what I mean? So man, this has
Yeah.
been a good one. You know what I mean? So we're gonna tap
Yeah.
in on May 10th. We're gonna go live. I'm gonna be down there in Portland. I'm gonna make that
Come
trip.
on.
So I'm gonna end up, I'm gonna go live and we're gonna do another, hey, talk to some player. I might do some interviews and stuff with some players down there with you.
Yeah.
Boom, this is where we
Yeah.
at. This is where we at. You know what I mean? The ambassador, that's what I'm known for now, is I'm
Come on.
everywhere on all levels, pro levels. I'm looking for the best talent to put what's on in the city. So May 10th, you will see
Come
me
on.
in the building, helping scout, but also doing what I do, interview and show love. So, bruh, I say
Come
thank
on.
you again for the opportunity. And man, May 10th, of course, we're gonna be talking offline, but I'll be
You
down
already
there
know.
May 10th to check it out. So, hey, any question? You know what I mean? Y'all can hit me up, and I'm gonna point y'all to my brother to
Come
get
on.
y'all locked in. All my players who know me, everybody who's hitting me up. This is who I recommend. For now, like as far as, and when I say for now, it's like this is the opportunity I have right now that you can take advantage. Of course, you know I'm gonna
Right.
have all kind of other people that's gonna be asking me for, like, I know there's a camp in Lithuania. You know what I mean? I know coaches that hit me
Mm-hmm.
up and tell me different things like that. And I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell you all those things, but I'm just saying this is something in your own home, in your backyard. So hey,
Yeah.
I thank y'all for tapping in to Live and Unscript with your boy, the ambassador and coach Melvin. I just say thank you, and I look forward to continue to build it with you, my man.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me on. This was
Yes,
wonderful.
sir. Yes,
This
sir.
was this was
This
this was this was for sure wonderful, wonderful talking. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, no, I
yeah.
mean, like I said, my man Buckets, he appreciated. He said this was a good talk. That he's somebody, like I said, he want to go
Okay,
pro. He played for TBL, has a run, in the TBL and
okay,
things like that. And so for him to leave a comment to say this was a good convo for him, you know what I mean? So I know if it
okay,
was good for him, it was good to a lot of people who's going to get to hear this, you know what I mean? And that's why I
okay,
just wanted to continue to just reiterate certain things, because it's just want to make sure it's clear in people's mind, like this is how the business work at this
okay.
level, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And this is a good opportunity. And man, like I said, tap in with us. I will be back with us today. Oh, on Thursday. I'll be back on Thursday with the Six family, my man Kyle. You know what I mean? That's another adventure I'm working on, you know what I mean? Like I said, and
Okay,
that's another group of young men out of Seattle that looking to go pro. So
okay,
I'm I'm
okay,
I'm on all of that, and I already put them on about coming to the tryout. So we're gonna see if we can get some of those guys to tap in. And so on Thursday I'll be
yeah.
talking to him and things like that. So all right, my brother, I'm gonna let you get home. I thank you for taking the time and jumping on with me, my man. And man, I
I
look forward to
got you.
seeing you May 10th.
Absolutely, I appreciate you.
Oh, you already know, my man. Hit me
Yeah, I
anytime.
appreciate you. I got you. I got you. Have a
All
good
right.
night.
You too.
Yes, sir.